The best music in the afternoon on Radio GH.
Hello everybody, Ronnie Ross here, and you're listening to my favourite show on GH Radio, hosted by Derek Hamilton. Stay tuned for some great Scottish music.
Well, good afternoon. Welcome back to the Daily Ceilidh here on Radio GH with me, Derek Hamilton. I'm here today and I'm also here tomorrow because Ewan has got other engagement tomorrow at the dentist at 12 o'clock. Oh dear. Sorry to hear that, Ewan, but hopefully you get your teeth sorted out. Right, today's programme full of requests, absolutely jam-packed with requests and dedications, and we're starting off in grand style with the one and only Ronnie Ross, and he is playing this wee set of jigs called Jiggin'. Well, that was Ronnie Ross. Wee glitches there. I'm not too sure if the glitches are at this end or if they're actually on the record, or the CD itself. However, we'll see by the next track that we're going to play. But anyway, before we do, can I make just wee mention and say hello to Stephen Hughes, whose photographs you're watching at the moment. Stephen, thanks for your email this morning. I'll get around very shortly to making up a video of the stuff that you've sent, or at least some of the the stuff you've sent, because you've sent loads of photographs. OK, thanks for that, and I hope you're keeping well. Right, as I said, I've got loads of requests and tons of requests and dedications as well. I want to mention George Mackay, particularly George in Kirkfield Bank. George, thanks very much for your kind words and also for your very, very kind donation to the programme. Here's a wee set of tunes I'm sure you'll enjoy. It's Twa Bra Reels from John Ellis. The fabulous John Ellis band there with Twa Bra Reels. Especially I played that for George Mackay. George, I hope you and your dear wife are keeping well and keeping healthy and in this horrible situation we've got out here. I'm just looking out the window of the studio here, and the weather is just abysmal. It's dull, dreich. It's a dreich day. And I'm going to say hello to Canada now, to Shona and Alistair Smith in Manitoba, in Canada, and it's this comes as a message from your good friend Betty Rooney across there across there from us, and certainly across the pond from you in Canada, in Northern Ireland. Betty is in Ballynahinch in Northern Ireland, and she asked me to say hello and send her best wishes to Shona and Alistair Smith across there in Canada. So here's a wee selection, and I'm sure that one of the tunes in here will please Betty, and I hope that it pleases everybody else as well. Here's Ian Hudson and the band to play the dance, The Silver Milestone. Look out for the tunes. Yes, indeed, the superb band of Ian Hudson, and he was playing a set of jigs there for the dance The Silver Milestone, and of course the last tune there was Ubiquitous, famous Andrew Rankin composition, Donald Ian Rankin, which I happen to know is a particular favourite of Betty Rooney across there in Ballynahinch, and that whole set went out as a dedication to Betty's friends in Canada, Shona and Alistair Smith. Right, I should maybe mention another couple in Canada at the moment, and that's Helen and Alan Ritchie in Canada, in Toronto. And they are originally from Edinburgh, and the message, I'll probably do this again the next Sunday that I'm on, because I think they listen every Sunday, but whether they listen to the daily programme, because in Canada it'll be about, about 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning here. But of course, don't forget, the programme is repeated at 9 o'clock here tonight, which would be sort of 3 in the afternoon, 4 in the afternoon for you in Canada. Right, it's to Helen and Alan Ritchie in Canada and Toronto, and it comes from Diane and Gordon Young. The famous Gordon Young, that famous drummist, famous country dancer as well. I noticed recently photographs on Facebook, and there's a young Gordon with a whole plethora of beautiful women round about him, which is his wont when he was a boy, and he was a country dancer, and he still he never fails to amaze Gordon. I remember playing one night and we were doing a country dance, and somebody came up and requested, or we were doing dances, and somebody came up and requested a country dance, and Charlie Kirkpatrick, who was the band leader, said, I don't know if anybody will know that, and Gordon stood up and said, I'll call it. And there he did. He stood up there, and off the top of his head he called a country dance. No problem to Gordon. Great guy. And don't forget his programme on a Saturday night at 6 o'clock here on Radio GH, Gordon's Ceilidh, every Saturday night, and also repeated throughout the week at various other times. Right, let's move on. Next mention is next request. Morning, Derek and Daily Ceilidhers. Can you play Foster and Allen singing Mrs. Brown's Boys song, please? If you haven't got that, anything of your choice would be great. Cheers. And that comes from Grant McDougall. Well, as it happens, I do have Mrs. Brown's Boys by Foster and Allen. Grant, here it is for you and for everybody else. Foster and Allen.
We bless the day that Mrs. Brown appeared upon our screen. When things were not so rosy, she kept following her dream.
But the wheel of life keeps rolling, and the good times have come round. So we'll all sit back and have the crack, for here comes Mrs. Brown. Mrs. Brown's boys are the new kids on the block, but they're fun with Irish laughter, they make the world rock. She's a mammy of all mammies, and the queen of Dublin town. So goodbye to Biddy Mulligan and hurrah for Mrs. Brown.
A widow with 5 children, oh how she reared them all, trading down in Moore Street where she fought to keep her stall.
A curse and swear here and there, a smutty word or two, a heart of gold when all is told, that's Mrs. Brown for you. Mrs. Brown's boys are the new kids on the block, but they're fun with Irish laughter, they make the world rock.
She's a mammy of all mammies, and the queen of Dublin town. So goodbye to Biddy Mulligan and hurrah for Mrs. Brown. Now for her neighbour Winnie there's a welcome on the map, and Buster he goes in and out more often than the cat.
And Grandad, he's so lazy, he won't even catch the flu. He sleeps away night and day, or air won't I tell you. Mrs. Brown's boys are the new kids on the block, but they're fun with Irish laughter, they make the world rock.
She's a mammy of all mammies, and the queen of Dublin town. So goodbye to Biddy Mulligan and hurrah for Mrs. Brown. There's Dermot and there's Trevor, Mark and Rory too. Her only daughter Cathy, with those dazzling eyes of blue.
There's grandkids and there's in-laws, but when the chips are down, before they make the final call, they turn to Mrs. Brown. Mrs. Brown's boys are the new kids on the block, with their fun and Irish laughter, they make the world rock.
Queen of Dublin town. So goodbye to Biddy Mulligan and hurrah for Mrs. Brown. Mrs. Brown's boys are the new kids on the block, but they're fun with Irish laughter, they make the world rock. She's a nanny of all nannies and the Queen of Dublin town. So goodbye to Biddy Mulligan and hurrah for Mrs. Brown.
Yes, that was Mrs. Brown's Boys from Foster and Allen. And I notice an email has just come in from who's it, Brenda Jones. And she says, at the moment, can't get you on Facebook, so watching on YouTube and listening on Radio GH. There seems to be loads of things coming in on Facebook, so I'm assuming that it's localised to you, Brenda, and most other folk can get it. So I would just keep trying if I was you. But you know, unless you want to get involved in all the comments, it's just as well to watch it on YouTube and listen on Radio GH, because Radio GH tends to be the most reliable. Just because it's sound only and it goes out on a totally different streaming system. Right, what's next? Let's keep going with the music. I've got to make a mention to John Watritt. John phoned me and I haven't got back to him. I just picked up his message maybe 2 or 3 days after he phoned, and I haven't got back to him. But just to wish him a happy new year, and I hope that the Lockerbie Accordion Club can get started back up again. In fact, I hope that most of the accordion clubs will be starting back up after the announcement yesterday that, or at least the expected announcement next Monday, when we're expecting that the restrictions on things like accordion clubs, meetings like that, will be lifted quite a bit. So it should allow accordion clubs to go ahead. Hopefully that'll happen as from Monday. So let's wait and see what happens, or at least it'll happen from the later in January. The announcement, I think, will be made on Monday, hopefully. So let's keep hoping that the accordion clubs will start back up again quite quickly. And John, I hope that the dances there as well and at Lockerbie are able to go ahead as well before too long, and the accordion club. And here for you is the two Bobbies. Yes, I know you know the two Bobbies well. That's Bobby Graham on the accordion, the late Bobby Graham on the accordion, and of course Bobby Dorrans on the drums. And here they are to play a wee two-step, especially for you, John. The two Bobbies there, Bobby Graham and Bobby Dorrans, with a wee two-step, and that was for John Watrit. Right, Brenda, just before you dash off, Brenda Jones has said at last, got you on Facebook, been watching on YouTube. We'll have to leave at 1:30 as I got a text yesterday to remind me that I have an appointment at the eye clinic today at 2:30 and to bring the letter, which you haven't got. I wouldn't worry about that, Brenda. Just you go along to the clinic and just explain that you haven't received the letter because there's a shortage of postage and so forth. So, yes, I'm sure everything will be fine. They'll have it all on the computer. Don't you worry about that. Just go along. It's better to go without the letter than not to go because you haven't got the letter. So go and go to the eye clinic and hope all goes well for you. Right, next up, another request here is, well, it's not really a request. That's not true. It's a dedication, and it's with great sadness that I do this because I learned yesterday, or later on yesterday, of the sad death of Ian Riddett. Ian, a great, I would say Ian Riddett was just a wee gentleman. That's what he was, a wee gentleman. I always got on well with him, and we had a laugh, and we, any time we met, he took a joke upon himself, and he was a great character, and he certainly was a stalwart of Castle Douglas Accordion Club. So I thought, in tribute to Ian, and condolences obviously go to his family, his wife and daughter, and I know that his wife hasn't been too well recently either, so it must be an even bigger blow to her that Ian has passed. Very sad indeed. I mean, I saw a picture of him not very long ago at the Accordion Club, and he was sitting playing his drums as usual. He just loved to play his drums. He loved to get a tune in the drums, and he loved to just be involved. So as a wee tribute to him, here he is playing drums along with me at Castle Douglas Accordion Club.
In the long, long road, the green goes gone from the hill of mine. The trials of a life are really done, but to be yours fair as you were. Slightly than they do, and my face is a well-written page. The time all alone was the pen. They say we have outlived our time. As dated as songs we have sung, what to me you're as well as you were, Maggie, when you and I were young. The old hometown looks the same as I step down from the train, and there to me was Mama and Mama down the lane.
my wee tribute to Ian Riddett, who passed away yesterday. He really was such a nice guy, and what more can you say? That hasn't been said already. Everybody coming in with comments there, John Caskey and various others, all have saying how he really was a very nice man, and very sad loss. And once again, condolences to the family, to Sheila, his wife, and his daughter. And right. Actually, Ewan Galloway has always said things happen in threes. And sadly, another message that's just come in, and probably you've all seen it if you're watching Facebook. If you're not, then it's also very sad to say that Crafter Miles, or Norman, has come in and said, "Hi, some sad news. Jack McLeish has passed away." Jack played with Dick Black and he played with Willie McFarlane, and he passed away on Monday. I hadn't heard that, Norman, so I'm hoping that that's number 3, because we had Gary Donaldson yesterday, we've had Ian Riddett today, and now Jack McLeish. I do hope that's the end of it for the time being, but condolences again to Jack's wife and to the family and so forth. I shall do a wee tribute to Jack in tomorrow's programme, because I'm back on tomorrow, because Ewan is at the dentist tomorrow, so I'll dig out something relevant and do a wee tribute to Jack tomorrow. Jack was another smashing fella, got on great with him. Met him many times and played alongside him many times. Great guy, and I mean kept going for many years. I mean, he was on the scene for a long time. So I'll do a wee tribute to him tomorrow in the programme, and in the meantime I shall I'll have to go and have a look and see what I can dig out for that. Right, next request, because I'm conscious of the time and getting through these requests. Could you please play track 1 on the Cullyville Band's Here's Blinks? Which track 1, and that comes from Iris Sanderson up there in Shetland, and she says many thanks and a great big red heart. Well, of course I can't refuse if you've got a great big red heart on it. Oh dear, no. Right, yes, The Pharmacist is the name of this two-step that the Cullyville are playing. That's track 1 on Here's Blinks, the CD by the Cullyville, and as I say, the tune is called The Pharmacist. So here it is for you, Iris, The Pharmacist. The Cullivo Dance Band with that wee two-step, especially for Iris Sanderson up there in Shetland. Next mention is for Alan and Carol Walker. Now, Alan and Carol live down in Cumbria. And good friends of mine. Alan plays the box, and they used to go to all the dances. In fact, they run dances themselves, but they used to go to quite a lot of dances that I played at down in that area. And Carol has sent me a message this morning saying that they're now able to listen and watch again after 47 days without the internet and 45 days without a landline. A landline phone, that is. And that was due to the storms back, a way back there, that they had the storms 47 days ago, 45 days or 47 days ago it must have been, that they had the storms. And that is unbelievable, all that time before they could get reconnected. So for you two, here's a wee song, and you can clear the floor in the kitchen, and you can maybe dance a waltz Catherine or a waltz Marie, or even the Sweetheart Waltz if you like for this one.
Tonight while the snowflakes are falling, here in my dreams I can see the white cherry blossoms of Shaman, where I walk with Anna-Marie. Anna-Marie, Anna-Marie, my heart remembers and sighs. C'est vous, Miami, beaucoup. I miss you, Anna-Marie. My heart was pledged to another, but I knew as I crossed the sea that I never loved any other as I loved my Anna-Marie. Anna-Marie, Anna-Marie, my heart remembers and sighs. C'est vous, Miami, beaucoup. I miss you, Anna-Marie. I miss you, Anna-Marie. I miss you, Anna-Marie.
Anna-Marie, the old Jim Reeves favourite there for a wee waltz Catherine, or any of the slow waltzes that you do at these dances, waltz Catherine or waltz Marie or Sweetheart Waltz or whatever, there's loads of them. And that was especially for Alan and Carol Walker down there in Cumbria. Yes, and also I should say hello while I'm in Cumbria. I should pop in and say hello to all my other friends down there. That's Alistair and Pat, and Les and Joyce, and of course Rita. and Dennis and Marjorie. Yes, all from Cumbria, and all keen dancers. And Pat White is an accordion player. I don't know whether Pat still plays or not, but she did for a long time play the accordion, and I hope she does still play actually and gets some enjoyment from it. And I'm just saying hello to you all. Right, moving on. Hello Derek and all Daily Ceilidh gang from the gruesome twosome. That's Bill and Marie. Bill and Marie across there in Edinburgh. And we hope you are all well. Could you please play any track by Jimmy Shan Jr.? Many thanks, Derek. Right, for Bill and Marie, I don't know whether... I think the indoor bowling has been kind of curtailed a wee bit recently, Marie. But I think hopefully after the announcements next week, you might get back to it very soon, hopefully. And I'm sure you look forward to that because it's something that brightens up the day, doesn't it? And it'll not belong to the spring, and the bowling green will be open again, and you'll get out in the fresh air bowling as well. So hopefully just keep your fingers crossed, your legs crossed, your eyes crossed and your ears crossed. Now the ears is a difficult one, I have to say, but anyway, you try and keep your pecker up and enjoy what you can of life at the moment. And here for you is a Jimmy Shan Jr. track. Let's see what Jimmy Shan Jr. He's going to play the Canadian three-step. That was Jimmy Shan Jr., a fabulous band. It's one of my favourite bands, actually, is Jimmy Shan Jr. Always has been. I think it's got a great lift in it, and the three boxes always, for me, is the thing that makes it. Jack Delaney on playing second type box, and Guy often it was Jim Johnston and Jimmy Shan Jr. that played the two leads, one with a heavy coupler and one with a light coupler. It was great. It was a great band. I really did enjoy it, and I know that Gordon keeps friendly with Jimmy Shan Jr. They talk to each other quite a bit. Jimmy Shan Jr. has moved house of recent times, and I think he's up in Fife now, back up in Fife somewhere. And I know that Gordon and him talk quite frequently. So, and he seems to be keeping quite well. That's good to hear. Right, let's swiftly move on. 1:43? Good grief, time is moving on. Good afternoon, Derek. We will be listening as usual to all the great music you play. No particular request today, as I was late in remembering to put one on. Been busy packing for another few days away. Retirement is awful. Oh, it really is. But we like it. Yes, and that comes from Sheila and Billy, the Dandy Dancers up there in Aberdeen. So they're obviously off for another few days away. That's great. And I don't know whether you'll be doing any dancing when you're away, but you could maybe get Billy to clear a wee space for the time being. And you could do this next dance, which I'm sure you know full well. It's not the simplest dance of in the business, but it's a nice wee 4x32 bar reel, and I'll tell you what it is in a minute, because I'm going to put this out and mention again, I forgot to say this before, but mention again to Les and Joyce Allen down there in Penrith. They must be missing their trips up north, because I know they rent a cottage in this very place where I'm going to play the dance from. So if you're guessing, the place is in Aberdeenshire, and it is, let's say there's a lot of buzzing around the place. Can you guess? It's the Bees in the Maginocketa. Dance the Bees of Maginocketa, played there by Ian MacPhail and his fabulous band. And that was especially for the Dandy Dancers up there in Aberdeen, Sheila and Billy. Hope you're both well, folks, and enjoy your weekend away. If you're going away this weekend, enjoy your weekend away. Now, Dave Bothwick has asked for the Boys of the Mary L. Well, who better to play the Boys of the Mary L than the composer himself, Ewan McGowan? And here he is with the Elm Bank Scottish Dance Band to play the Boys of the Mary L. Ewan McGowan and Elm Bank Scottish Dance Band with the Boys of the Mary L, which was composed by Ewan himself, the late Ewan McGowan. What we got? I've got a wee message here that I want to read out. Excuse me looking sideways. I'm looking at my other screen. It just says, "Hi Derek, I was so sorry to hear of the deaths of Ian Riddett and Jack McLeish, two great drummers and lovely guys who played drums with me many a time. In fact, Ian played drums for my band when we guested at Castle Douglas, as you know. We have lost so many friends from the music scene and they are all sadly missed. I would like to add my condolences to their families. Hope you are keeping well and safe." Yes, and that comes from Janet Graham. Janet, thanks very much for that message, and I'm sure that the folks listening will appreciate that as well. Thank you very much. Next on the list is a request from Rob and Mary McCombie. That'll be McCombie. You can tell me how to pronounce it. But it's Rob and Mary, and they've asked for something from The Joy of Sets. That's The Joy of Sets. Yes, Joy of Sets, and it comes from James Coots and his band, and here he is to play The Nurseryman. James Coots and his band there with The Nurseryman, a jig Yes, we're coming up to the last track, unfortunately, and I'm going to sign off today with, let's see what we're going to sign off with. Yes. Oh, aye. I'm going to sign off with Brandon McPhee, who's been asked for by Margaret Massey. Margaret says, "Hi, Derek, no listening, watching. Play something by Brandon McPhee." Well, if you're no listening and no watching, I don't quite get that. But anyway, here to sign off the programme is Brandon McPhee, and he's going to play The Lass of Petey's Mill, and this is the last track in the programme, and I'm going AWOL after this. Here's Brandon. Well, it's thanks to Brandon McPhee for taking us out of the programme, and thanks to all of you for taking part in the programme. There's been loads of you on today. It's nice to see, and hopefully I've got through most of the requests. I'll have to have a wee quick look through the list. Thanks to Susan for helping me out in between times. Thanks very much as usual, Susan. Great to have you there. It's a big help indeed. And hopefully I'll see you all again tomorrow at lunchtime, as it's me that's doing the programme tomorrow again, because Ewan Galloway is away to get something done with his teeth. I don't know whether maybe he's going to swap them with Tiger or what, I don't know, but he's going to do something with his teeth at the dentist tomorrow. So excuse me. In the meantime, have a good day. Hope the weather's not too bad where you are. It's horrible here. But anyway, have a good day, and I'll catch you all again tomorrow at lunchtime. Bye for now.